Hey everybody, Missy here, Mountain Girl 80461. Today is Sunday and it is April 6, 2025, and this is...
Hey, this is Louis Bear 10469. We're here in Gardnerville, Nevada on a pretty warm day, and we decided to do make some pine salve. So we're going to come back and we're going to go over all the things that are required to make it, and then we're going to show you how we do it. We'll be back. Over and out.
Peace.
Hey, hi, it's Lou. I'm back. So Missy and I are going to show you what it takes, ingredients and utensils and so on, to make pine salve. And I'm going to turn the camera over to Missy, and she's going to talk about ingredients.
All right. Hey, everybody. Check it out. If you like what we're doing today, make sure that you like, subscribe, and comment down below. All right. So check it out. We do, you're going to want to melt down a half of a cup of olive oil and a half a cup of coconut oil so that you get a full cup of oil. Then you need pine sap that you actually get from scraping trees out in the national forest. And so you can use any type of pine sap, and you're going to use a 1/4 cup. So we'll measure that later. Then you use essence. Right here we have some lemon flowers, we have some lavender, we have some rose, and God, that doesn't work.
Hey, hi, it's Lou. Missy and I are back, and we're going to go over what materials are needed and what hardware is needed to make pine salve. Missy is going to go over the ingredients with you.
Hey everybody, Missy here. If you like what we're doing today, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment below. And tell a friend, share if you like what we're up to. So check it out. You're going to need a full cup of oil. This is a half a cup of coconut oil and a half a cup of olive oil. And then you're going to want to get some of your pine sap from trees in the forest, and you'll want to measure out a 1/4 cup and get that rendered down. And then you're going to want some essential oils and some natural essence. Here we have some lemon flowers, we have some lavender and some rose hip, and some lemongrass and some vanilla. And then we are going to use a 1/4 cup of yellow beeswax pellets and melt those down. And we'll show you how to do that. And you can use any type of pellets that you want. Beeswax, you can use yellow. It also comes in a variety. All right, Lou, you're up.
Okay. So, all right, so those are the ingredients. Now we're going to show you what utensils and so on that we need. Here is the pot. And we are either going to use, more than likely what we're going to do is use this pot to render down and melt the pine tar. Once it's melted, we are going to add the olive oil and the coconut oil, heat it all up. Then we're going to add the beeswax and stir it. And when we do that, the impurities are going to start to coagulate and come together. And we will remove them. And then whatever we can't remove with the stick, we are going to pour through the strainer. And it's right here. We're going to pour through a strainer into the mason jar, and at that point we're going to add different essence and flavors and things, and then we're going to pour it into our containers, and we're going to let it set, and it'll be done. But we're going to show you step by step how we do all those things. And here we don't want to forget this Coleman stove. This is a very special Coleman stove given to me by a friend. And you know, when you're out in nature and when you want to make salve, you're not going to go with any stove. You are going to go with a Coleman Camp Grill stove. This is called the Insta-Start, so you don't need an outside lighter. It has its own ignition. It's got one big burner. It's got a second burner on the side. It's got some wind flaps. The thing does everything. So this is going to be our cooking instrument instead of using a campfire, which is a lot more difficult. And we'll come back and we'll get started. Over and out. Hi, Missy.
Hey, Louie. All right, so check this out. So we have gathered some of this pine sap and off of some trees, and you can see there's going to be impurities. There's going to be a lot of soil. You can see some pine needles. Who knows what else is here? Dirt, of course. So we're going to throw it. This is about a 1/4 cup. You must have a 1/4 cup in order for this recipe to work. And we're going to just throw it here in the pot, and then we're going to ramp up the heat, and we're going to get that
Okay,
fixed up.
Missy. All right. Okay, our stove is lit. This is probably the most time consumed part of the process, because this, God knows how long this pine sap has been like this, and it doesn't melt easily. So you have to have a little patience when you first start, because you're gonna take pine tar that's hard and in a solid form, and you have to get it down to the liquid. And once it's a liquid, then we'll add coconut oil, olive oil, beeswax, and the process will come together pretty quickly. But this initial melting will take a little while, so sit back, get a can of Pringles, do what you got to do, you know, click on unsubscribe, give a thumbs up, and little by little this will melt, and you will see the process come together. And if you're lucky like us, you'll have some salve. So, all right, we'll get back to you in a little bit.
Hey everybody, Missy here. One thing we forgot to mention in the beginning is safety first. So make sure that when you're working with this hot sap from the forest, that you use a long enough stick or some type of utensil when you stir, because as you can tell here, it is very, very hot, and you don't want it to splash up. So go gentle when you're stirring, and you can see it's popping and making all kinds of racket in that pan. So safety first. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and comment below.
Hey, it's Lou. We're back. So we have the pine tar on the stove. It's been going pretty intensely for about 10 minutes. It's a hot flame, as you can see. And if Missy can get close enough, she'll show you what melted pine sap looks like. Pine tar. And in a minute, this last chunk will have melted. And then Missy is going to add olive oil, coconut oil, and beeswax to it. We're going to get out the impurities. We're going to add some essence, and we're going to pour it, and it's going to be a wrap. So we'll turn the camera on in a minute when this is totally melted, and Missy will go to work mixing it all together. Okay, bye. Hey, so we're back, and Missy is going to show us what step is next. The pine tar is melted. It's still cooking up. And Missy is going to add.
All right, so don't forget, you need a 1/2 cup of olive oil, a 1/2 cup of coconut oil, and gently put it into your pan. You don't want it to splash. Safety first, remember. So you put your oil in there, and then you can just eyeball the beeswax And you want a 1/4 cup. So you can either use your hand and eyeball it, or we're gonna use the strainer, which is about a 1/4 cup, and gently put it in there. Don't let it splash because you'll hurt yourself. So throw those babies in there, and then like Lou said, I'm gonna kind of toggle here. And then you can put your essential oils.
Not yet.
Here in a minute. I'm gonna let these start to melt, and you mix it in, and it's gonna grab up the impurities. And you can see those impurities. Impurities are the dirt that we spoke of, the pine needles, anything that might have been stuck in that pine sap from the tree. And you can look really, really close and you can see those impurities. The sun is showing. There's big chunks. It'll all ball together. And then right before we strain it, we will put our essential oils. All right, so we'll be right back. Safety first.
Hey, it's Lou, we're back. So we've melted everything together. We've put some different berries and lemon blossoms. We threw everything in there. Melted it all down. Now we're going to bring it over and we are going to strain it. So I'm going to be very careful. Step away. Don't be too close. Take your time. And here we go. It is done. It is hot. Okay. And so we are going to leave that there. We're going to add essential oils, and then we're going to pour it in our containers, and then we're going to let it harden, and we're going to have salve. We'll come back in a minute.
Hey everybody, Missy here. So we are at our end product almost. Here is the sap that has been rendered down with all of the ingredients, and we are going to pour it into these little vessels that we picked up through a vendor locally, and we are going to use a splash of essential oil, vanilla, and once again you could use however much you choose. We're going to use a splash of vanilla because we absolutely love it. And we're going to use a splash of lemongrass because we absolutely love that as well. And then, as Lou mentioned to you, we used a little bit of rose hip and some lavender and some lemon flower. And then you could use a stir stick just like this. It's already starting to get hard. I can feel it on the bottom. So mix that baby up. And then, like we've been telling you before, safety first. You can use some of these tongs. Grab it like this, and then you can use a rag or paper towel, whatever you want, to hold on to it like this. And then you'll want to pour gently. You don't want any splashing. Gently pour into your vessel. And as you can see, that's really beautiful color. Each color is going to be different because of the type of sap, the variety of sap that you used, pine tar. And there's a little bit of impurities, but that's okay. And that makes about 3 containers, as you can see. And it is beautiful. And I'm just gonna move all this stuff out of the way, and we're gonna be right back to give you the scoop on what it's like after it settles up. Peace.
Peace.
Hey everybody, our job is done, and now we're sitting back and relaxing under the nice blanket of this tree because it's a pretty toasty day out. And we're gonna give you a little preview of what things look like after they settle up. As I mentioned earlier, you can use any size vessel that you want. This is what it's going to look like after it settles up. It's beautiful, golden brown. As I mentioned, it could be a different color depending on the type of tree and the pine tar that you gather. So we made this a while back, and we made this one. You can also use glass. And this vessel, as you can see, is a different variety of color, and it just smells absolutely delish. And this is, once again, you've got your pine tar, you have your coconut oil, olive oil, essential oils, and beeswax, and it's absolutely wonderful for your skin. You can put it on your feet, your hands, and but safety first. Make sure you check those allergies or anything that you might have. And use safety first when you're making up your salve. And I'm going to turn it back to Louie.
Hey, hi. So Missy showed you how it's going to look, and that, you know, as the night cools off, it'll harden, and we'll take one last look at how it came out. But in the meantime, we are gonna sit under the tree and gonna enjoy some Pringles.
Pringles!
And we've had a good time, and we've had a good cook. The salve is getting harder, and we'll show it when it's done.
All right, we're gonna dive into these yummy Pringles. We're gonna have some Lay's Stacks buffalo wing with ranch, and some sour cream and onion. Yummo, yummo. All right, be sure to like and subscribe and comment below.
Okay.
Peace.
All right, over and out.